Andrew, you ready for some Indiana love? All right, I'm gonna give some Indiana love here. Okay, so Curt Cignetti is the fourth of 30 Indiana coaches to open their career 3-0. Pretty good, fourth of 30, and now he is in the position to become the first in the program's 140-year history to go 4-0. Can you believe in 140 years of Indiana football, they've never had a coach begin their career 4-0?
That's pretty wild. Yeah.
That is very wild. Indiana broke records 2 weeks ago in scoring and total yards, and last week they got their first win in the Rose Bowl. So it only is right that they will break some more records this week. It's a record-breaking year for Indiana. However, Charlotte. Things are not good for football in Charlotte at all. You look at the Charlotte 49ers, things are not going well. And I don't know how much you follow the NFL, Andrew, but the NFL's Carolina Panthers, they are just a combined 6 for 28 since 2023 openers. Yikes.
Yeah, not great. And yeah, I mean, we talk about this a little bit on our pod, but myself and Vince, we're Eagles fans. So you can kind of see over on this side, got
Oh, yeah,
some
I see
Eagles
it.
stuff. So we're also kind of licking our wounds a little bit after blowing that game against Atlanta.
At least you're not Carolina. You can
Yeah,
always look at that way.
yeah, yep. Always can find a silver lining.
Yo. All right. Well, tell me before we get into this preview here. I think we're both probably going to pick Indiana to win this game. At least I think we should. But tell me, what do you think about Indiana this year? Are they for real? Are they kind of fraudulent? You think, and it's just kind of smoke and mirrors? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they are for real. I mean, they're on a roll with Cignetti so far, like you just said. And, I think going in, I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like there were some questions about the QB position for Indiana coming into this year. And I think that Curtis Rourke has stepped up to the task in a big way. Threw for over 300 yards and threw for 4 touchdowns against UCLA. And as a team, they've been pretty stingy on defense, including against UCLA. So, yeah, I mean, I like their chances to continue their unbeaten streak here.
I do as well, specifically because the 49ers are a bad defensive team and Indiana has proven themselves to be a good offensive team. The 49ers are outside the top 100 in college football in passing yards allowed per game, 260 passing yards allowed per game. Curtis Rourke, he is in sync with Ethan Surratt, and they are averaging 50 points per game so far this year. That's sixth in the FBS. You tell me if anybody predicted Indiana to be the sixth best scoring team in college football after week 3. I think you'd be lying if you said you were predicting that. But I think overall, not only is it important for the Indiana offense to really show themselves here and just continue this dominant run, and Curtis Rourke to get on the same page with his wide receivers, but I also think Mikhail Kamara, it's important for him to continue to play well. Now he's only got 7 tackles on the season, but he has been disruptive in the backfield, been winning a whole lot in his pass rushing situations. He's not gotten all the sacks in the world, but he does have 3 sacks on the year, and he recovered a fumble against UCLA on the very first play of the game last year. That was not last year, last week, and that was one of the things that just kind of like deflated UCLA right away. Fumble on the very first play, and Kamara, with that motor that he has, was able to get to that ball. So I can't say enough good things about Indiana, and it just seems like this is a bad matchup for Charlotte to try and do anything in this game. Andrew, you see it the same way. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I see it the same way. I think that this is going to be a pretty convincing victory for Indiana. And on their side, I'm specifically looking at their wide receiver duo of Cooper Jr. and Surratt to continue their momentum, especially as they're about to enter into Big Ten play. I think they'd both like to kind of carry these strong performances week to week, as they kind of go into some of those, some of those games where I think they're going to prove or try to prove that they belong in kind of the top half of the Big Ten, because they're going to be playing Maryland, Indiana, and Nebraska after this game. So this really an opportunity for them to kind of establish themselves as not the top team, but a team that deserves respect in the conference.
They certainly deserve respect. I definitely believe that. Philip says Indiana starts 4-0, but finishing 6-6. Ooh, that'll be interesting and kind of quite the fall from grace if they start 4-0 to go 6-6. I mean, an Indiana fan would definitely be happy, right? I mean, you're bowl eligible, you're going to a bowl game, you're definitely gonna be happy that you're going to a bowl game. But to finish the season 2-6, That would not be a great thing after all the hype of the beginning of the year. I will say one thing that Charlotte does kind of have on their side in this one. They have a good receiver in Jarius Mack. He was very good last year, averaged 18.1 yards per catch and 25 catches last season. And there was a targeting penalty against D'Angelo Pons, who is the team's top cornerback, Indiana's top cornerback. So top wide receiver, possibly going to get up against the cornerback in the first half that is not the top cornerback in this one. So we'll see if that has any kind of effect. I don't really think it does, but I did think it was important to mention that Pons will be out the very first half of this game because of the targeting penalty. All right, Andrew, score predictions. I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, so I won't beat around the bush. I think that Indiana is going to win this one. They're a huge favorite if you look at the spread, and so I like the 8-10.
What was that again? You kind of paused for a second.
Sorry, I'm expecting a Hoosier victory here. I think that they're going to continue to roll with this momentum that they have. So I like them to win this game 38-10.
38-10. All right. I'll say so. Our predictions are a little bit different on this one. I actually have Indiana winning 52-3. I think that Curt Cignetti is going to continue to have his guys just reeling. I think sometimes you have these teams that are doing really well and they do get a little bit complacent. They kind of feed into the hype. I think Curt Cignetti is going to keep preaching to these guys that look, this is an Indiana team that nobody expected us to be this good, and he has a history of having teams that are kind of doubted and then going into games and doing a much better job than maybe some people give him credit for. So I think Indiana's offense, they just explode at the beginning of the game, and it's really, really tough for Charlotte to come back and do anything in this one. I think they hold Charlotte to only a field goal, and I think that Indiana wins 52-3. So